first off, this is very good. You always are going to look for any kind of blemish or any scar that is ongoing in the face. And quite often what we do is we kind of look, you know, I can see that there's something here. I mean, it's the, you know, God love actors, it is that we literally put them through a mill when we're looking at their skin. But you will always be looking at scars that you can pop out, because there's nothing beats, especially if you're doing a long-term project, nothing beats having a scar that is already there that you can bring up and bring to life and fade it down. You know, I mean, this would be amazing. I mean, it's a beautiful scar, and it would be an amazing scar to kind of tell a story of when it first happened, right down to how you could literally go over a few years with this existing scar. Anyway, I digress, but this is really good. Going through eyebrows, going through any form of hair is always good, because it's all about placement, and it always brings it to life. If you're going through a hair or a lip or something, you know, always work out where you're placing everything. When we move around to this side, I would say my issue with this side is that you was having so much fun that you should have stopped 30 minutes ago. Partly because what you did, all of these bits are really, really good. I love your colouring. Your colouring is so brilliant. All of this is really, really clever colouring. And then you kind of started to get carried away, and you know, the hardest thing, I mean, this is so good 10 minutes ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I love what you've done, partly because when you do things a bit more sporadically, like as in you've kind of gone, you're really fine, you know, it's the work there is really, really fine but detailed, and you've accentuated little dark bits here and there which draws your eye to them, but you can also see you've got bits that are going to start going here. As soon as this starts going on, it's taken away my belief in it. But
like slashed her hands. Yeah, there's some like actual like bits of rock and rubber and coffee grounds, which was Chrissy's idea in there to like make more texture. And then over here, this was like kind of a last minute-y thing. I don't like how it looks, but where I used the A and B to like do scratches, which I quite liked, but it wasn't really setting. So then we put powder over the top and like to make it kind of set, and then I've like covered it in blood.
okay, did we work out why it wasn't setting?
I'm guessing it was probably about the mixture of the A to B ratio, right? Or maybe it was old, or...
It's probably to do with the A to B ratio, but also A to B has got a very short lifespan once it's mixed. So you kind of have to, as you're mixing it, that's why we mix a little bit at a time, because it will go off really quite quick. Right, what I would say is here, if this is eczema, it kind of looks more like it's kind of sort of like there's too much going on for it to be eczema. I almost want gelatine is really good for eczema, and like off the shelf gelatine, isn't it? That you get from like,
or like flaky or
flaky. You literally mix up some gelatine, lay it over the skin, and you crackle it, right? And what that does is it gives you, the thing about eczema that makes it look really sore is bits of skin coming off, right? So you've always got to think, how do I bring this to life, right? And with eczema, you've got to look at the component when you're looking at eczema and thinking, what is it that's making that look?
Oh. You were talking about eczema and I was scratching.
I know, it's like fleas and bed bugs. But no, but you've got to kind of look at what it is that brings that makes that alive. And actually, the thing with eczema is it's the flaking. The blood has just started to bleed out. Really like this is really good, and I love that you've kind of taken it from there to there. In the, you know, when you want to use a pintail comb or something to get your line exactly right. You know, you can do that, like paint a little bit of colour on your pintail comb and just put it across the face, just so that you know. And obviously the grips and things, hairpins that we use a lot. This I really like. Just need to pattern that down a little bit there, colour-wise.
But like a nice actual scratch.
Great. I really like that, and and we know what we were saying to make these was to take them into the hairline a bit more, which isn't very nice when you've now got to wash your hair to get them out. But believe me, it kind of really does make things come alive. This is really nice. I like all of your scratches that you've done, and the fact they're all. I mean, it kind of almost looks. I mean, if you've had a diving accident or something, you know, and sort of like scraped your head on the rocks. I'd have gone like sort of literally done a thing across there as well, just to carry that across the ear, just because that kind of really makes it all go a bit ouch. So that's really good. On this side, I think these are really good. Obviously, with all of these things, right, the depth of them would mean that you'd have had much more blood than what we're seeing here. So blood is something we always put on very, very last minute. Partly because if we're doing a cut or a wound in the morning, we might not film it for a couple of hours, so we tend to get the core of everything there, and then once we're on set, we will, you know, pour the blood on in situ. And remember gravity. So when you're putting on blood, I mean, this has happened so much with us, isn't it? We've been on set, and you know, you've sort of seen people that are dressed in blood, and then they'll lay them down, and you're just like, oh no, the blood's pouring that way, and it should be pouring that way. So all things like this, you've really got to think about these things. You know, it's kind of, you've got to think about your story of where you're going with that. What I would say about these is they're very good. Your edges are really good. I think because you put so much blood in there, you kind of lost. I really like that. It's nice, isn't it?
Really nicely coloured, isn't it?
Yeah,
And it looks
like that.
so.
I think the only thing I would do is I'd put a little bit of dried scab in there to sort of to show that it's underneath the infection. It started off as scab, as blood, and then it got infected. Same with this. You just need a bit more depth in that. Like if it's a bullet hole, it kind of needs to. You'd almost put the lip of the bullet hole, right? And then because to create the depth of a bullet hole, you'd almost paint the inside of it black, because that will kind of, and then you put the scab on the top, because you really want as much depth to that bullet hole as possible. Okay, yeah. So the camera will register the black as being the hole, if you like.
Yeah.
And then you'd have built up around the edges and things, just to, I mean, it's good. It's very good, and I love all of this stuff you've done around here. Is really nice.
Really lovely colour.
I think it's brilliant. I really do think this is really good, and I love. You see these fleshy bits here. You know, be really careful, guys, when you're putting blood anywhere near the eyes, just because if blood goes in the eyes, it will sting like bilio. It really will. But luckily it's just stopped just there.
Yeah,
And
so I just dipped it in half.
did you stop? Did you go? Oh,
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah, when it does, you will know. I love the shine that you put on, because it's kind of sort of like made it all come to life, isn't it?
And the dirt.
I love a little bit of that kind of coming through almost through here. I mean, you sort of went to go there, and then you pulled back for some reason, but almost like you cut even a couple of little things through there. Again, as soon as you go through hairline, it's working really well. This, your colouring, and this all up here is really nice. It's almost like a pepper. I love all this bruising around here is really nice.
Really beautiful, yeah, lovely colour.
It's really nice. I'm loving all the scratches. I think you've done a really good job. And you know, the nice thing about bondos now is that remember when we did that chat with Christian the other day, sort of like how things have changed over the years. Like prosthetic pieces would never have given this idea of skin here. You know, I mean, we spent like ages colouring old rubber mask prosthetic things, because it was just like, oh, what do we do? How do we make this look like skin? But now, the great thing about pro bondos is you put them on and you've almost got it, haven't you? But yeah, that's really good. And we've already explained, sort of be careful around your edges of a bondo, because it'll always grab. This, I love this. You know, obviously this has got a lot of blood that would have been coming out of it, but we don't need to. I think you've done a fantastic job, and like I say, my main comment here is be careful about, again, that you've done the sweat, you've done everything that goes hand in hand with this, but my thing about it is you've done a beautiful job, but you've centralised it. Do you see what I mean? And it's almost like it's kind of a perfectly positioned cut. You know that Hollywood, that Hollywood gag of sort of like, okay, we'll just have a cut here because it makes the actor look so much nicer. Actually, you haven't done that because it's a lot lower. But there is that sort of thing that, you know, and you don't have to do it now, but I just want you guys thinking about these sort of things. You don't have to put it through people's hair if it means we've then got to wash the hair and turn around and all that. It's a bit unfair. But just think that could be you know, you could have sort of done it there or something. Anything that goes through here or through the mouth, yeah, a bit over here or something, really brings it to life. But a really beautiful work, really beautiful work. Good, well done, guys. Not bad.